Going.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official kickoff. Chris, I know you know. All right, got to keep you in check.
I know he doesn't coach that often, but you got to listen.
We've got like 45 minutes, and we've got like 3 hours worth of crap to get in there. So, but there's a ton of information that we're going to go through in this presentation, and then there's a lot, obviously, that we'll go through throughout the next 28 days. So it is going to feel like a flash, like a blink of an eye. So, but first, I wanted to start off and share a special thank you to Jewel and Tony for helping build this program. So
Teamwork.
There was
Teamwork.
We've kind of joked about it. They said it was like 30 hours of training, and I'm pretty sure they forgot a 0.
Hours of training.
So it was a crazy journey, but we're very excited that we did it this way, and have partnered with Healthy Steps Nutrition to provide this nutrition challenge for everyone. Because you'll see why after 28 days, or maybe sometime in the middle. So, in any regard, this is just the kickoff. In your one-on-one meetings with your nutrition coach, you probably talked about setting up some goals, short-term goals for your 28-day challenge. But this is really just the tip of the iceberg. We can't cover everything in 28 days. So we do offer the individual nutrition coaching afterwards, which we'll dive deep into if that's something that you're interested in afterwards. Let's see here. Who's done a nutrition challenge before? A challenge, yep. Or it could be anything you've done yourself or with a group. Of that, how many of you lost weight during that challenge? And how many have kept it off? Okay, yeah. So
This is a safe
the statistic is two-thirds right here. 2/3 of the people will gain that weight back, and a lot of that revolves around the accountability that comes with some of the programs. So you do the thing, someone's watching you and keeping an eye on you and coaching you and mentoring you, and then you're not, and then slowly over time it's like, oh, I can do this thing, and then next thing you know, I'm guilty of it myself. So not on the weight loss side, but on the accountability side of things. And we'll talk more about that here. But first, a plug for our Healthy Steps Nutrition program. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition should not be complicated. The things that we've talked about in your initial meeting with your coaches, talking about the holistic approach to the Healthy Steps Nutrition program. It is not just nutrition. It's not just fitness. It's the holistic person, you, which is shown here. It's also in your packets, front page. Dee Dee's got it front and center. So the objectives for today, one, we want to give you an overview of the app. So you all have the HSN app downloaded. So we'll dig in deep there. We want to help you understand how to be successful throughout the challenge, and then basically utilize the tools to help you along this journey for the 28 days. Oh, don't walk too far. Okay. Couple of questions to ponder while we're doing this presentation. So think about these things, and you might have talked a little bit about these in your initial meetings, but what does success look like for you long term? What worked well for you in the past? We've all done something, even if it wasn't a challenge, quote unquote. What do you struggle with most? And then what has inhibited you for seeing results in the past? So just be thinking about those things. We've got a couple of short exercises throughout today's program. So reflect on those. I'll hand it over to Jewel.
My turn?
Oh, hold on.
Like,
slide mix up. Get ahead of myself. No. Start over. Restart.
The clock doesn't stop, Chris.
So there are some people that couldn't make it, so I made a last minute decision to record some of it. So we're not starting over for them.
No.
Okay. In your kickoff meeting with your coach, you probably talked about goals, right? So we're going to dig into those a little bit today, and we're going to kind of do some refining and some honing of your goals. When we're doing that, we want to think about writing them in a SMART fashion. I'm sure a lot of us have heard of the SMART. Is there anyone who has not heard SMART goals? Okay. The SMART is basically an acronym: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So if you structure your goal like that, odds are it'll lead you to higher level of success. So instead of just, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, well, 10 pounds by when? And kind of structure it that way. So actually, for now, I want you to take the next 3 minutes, and you can do this on, if you printed your paper off, otherwise you can do it on your phone in the PDF. Take a look at your goal that you wrote down with your coach, and ask yourself, is what you wrote down specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable, realistic, and time-bound? So look at both your short term, so is it specific, measurable, achievable, and time-bound in the 28 days, and then your long-term goal in that same fashion. So put 3 minutes on the clock.
Oh my gosh, I thought you legit were starting and I'm like, get out of here.
That would be awesome. I'll get it on my phone. So take 3 minutes and take a look at what you already wrote down or thought about, and then put it in the SMART fashion. No, it's long term would be like 6 months plus. So yeah.
Don't worry, I'll fill the void. It's very intense goal music.
Ooh, this is very smart.
Is this a good SMART
Very
music
smart.
game?
I don't know why I wrote drool on that one slide. Drool. Ooh, that's very thought provoking.
Felt bad I printed these at work today.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very corporate.
It is. I realize that we're still being recorded, so. We'll tell people to listen to this like a podcast. Don't even...
Okay, you got about another minute if you need it.
Your hair looks really good, Wendy. Did you get it cut? This looks really nice.
Just
Don't have a headband in.
Not sweating.
Again, like half
profusely.
of us, I don't recognize some people in their alter ego, which is whatever you do outside of the gym. It's like I only know your gym version.
All right. So now that you've done some refining, it might not be 100% yet. I want you to work with a partner. So turn to your partner and just tell them your goal. 30 seconds. Tell them what your goal is.
Chloe, just jump in. Just jump in.
It can be a three person. Just listen in.
Except Chloe. Except Chloe. I look over at her and she goes.
All right, if you haven't switched partners, or if you're going back and forth, you got another 30 seconds.
Then you have one more slide.
You got one more.
Alrighty. 10 minutes in.
All right, that's time. We're gonna put your scores up. Nora.
What's wrong with us?
Been up since 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I've been up since okay, so now that you have it kind of a little bit more refined than what you had it before, my recommendation, and most of you have it written on paper. If you don't, I would highly recommend getting it written down on paper or type it up real fancy like, and either have it in your car with you, your gym bag, post it on your mirror in your bathroom, your refrigerator, wherever it's going to be visible to you, to kind of help keep yourself accountable. Because odds are, if you stuff it in a drawer or don't print it out or whatever happens and you're not looking at it, come March, April, or May, you're probably going to, one, forget what your goals were, and you probably weren't going to be working or aren't going to be working towards them. So print them out, tape them up. Might look corny, but it's your goals. And second thing, not only sharing it with your accountability friends here, but sharing it with your social support system. So that was one of the questions that we asked everyone on your setup. So you had, your 5 closest people, share it with them so they know what you're doing and what your goals are. And one more thing before I do pass it over to Jewel. Like I said, 28 days, there's going to be a lot in the 28 days, but we are going to focus on the basics. So when we say that, we're going to focus on habit stacking one thing at a time. So each week we'll have a different focus. However, like week 1's focus is different than week 2, but we're going to stack that on, and we're going to keep stacking until we get all the way through week 4. One thing to remember, and this doesn't just pertain to this challenge, but really anything in life. Instead of taking something away, so instead of being like restrictive, add something in its place. So the first thing that we're going to add, hint, veggies. So we're not going to take things away, but we're going to eat some veggies. So that'll be week 1. And then just a handful of things that Jewel and Tony will cover, but eating real foods, so whole foods over processed foods. We're going to do a closet clean out or a pantry and refrigerator clean out. So that's a little teaser there. Just like we talk about at the gym, progress over perfection. Same thing applies to you and your nutrition journey. Looking at food labels, those pesky food manufacturers will sneak things in every nook and cranny. Sorry, shut this microphone off. I might work for those people.
The man that works at Cargill.
Woo! Don't post this video on social media.
We'll listen.
And then we're going to talk about the plate method. So,
all right, cool. We really wanted to reenact this picture with us and bananas, but we didn't have time. So it is to come, and we'll send it out to all of you. So like Cliff mentioned, like nutrition is the foundation, but each week we're going to layer something different and talk about a different nutrition habit as we work our way through our challenge. So, but the idea is to continue to add layers to it, right? So we're going to start with one thing, and then we're going to add another, and then we're going to add another. So the other 3 pillars to that include daily movement, so 30 plus minutes of daily movement, 7 plus hours of sleep, 10 minutes of stress management. And every day in the HSN app, you'll see these 4 pillars listed for you guys to mark off. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like in the app when we get to that piece of it. But to start building your foundation, we're going to talk about some principles here. So these principles have helped tens of thousands of people, and we're just going to continue to add this group of awesome people to that list. So number 1 in this HSN principle is to add more whole foods into your diet. Okay? And what that looks like is we're going to base things, you're going to hear this phrase a lot when we're doing this challenge, and it's called the plate method. Okay, and this is one of the easiest and most effective ways for us to improve our diet and eat a balanced meal of really high quality foods. And it's a great rule of thumb when eating or whipping something up quickly at home. Instead of focusing so much on something that's number based, we're going to look at it in more of a visual aspect, and that's more attainable and that's sustainable. So how we do it, how we do the plate method, okay, is we'll make half of our plate non-starchy vegetables, and we'll talk about what that looks like. A fourth of our plate will be lean protein. A fourth of our plate will be starch, and then we'll add in a plant-based source of fat. And fat recommendation varies based on, fat from protein and meat, and we'll get a little bit more into those details. But pro tips for eating your plate, okay, so eat the non-starchy veggies first, then eat your protein, then eat your starch. If you're one of those people that can't have your food touching on a plate, this might be easy for you. I'm one of those people that likes to mix all the things together, so don't get too crazy with these recommendations. And then if you're still hungry, you can go back for more non-starchy veggies. So let's talk about balance. We throw that word around a lot in what we do in gym, in the life, in food, okay? There's a purpose. It's a very strong word, balance. And what we mean is that every meal and snack you consume throughout the day should be balanced. There should be carbs, there should be protein, there should be fat. There's purpose, okay? And pairing each meal and snack with all three of these macronutrients will keep you ultimately fuller for longer, keep you feeling fueled and stronger, and then you're not constantly thinking about food because it's balanced. So we'll talk about these macros a little more detail. Look at that egg. Look at that thing. Look at that yolk. Is it staring into your soul? Look at that. Also, how did they do that? How did they do that? Look at that thing. All right, so let's talk.
That was the one that was stuck in the bottom.
Oh yeah, and you went to take it out. It was fantastic. Okay, so protein. Let's talk about it. Okay, so protein provides important amino acids, which are key to building muscle and recovery. So when we're doing any kind of movement, and you feel like a soreness the next day, it's because movement breaks down muscle, and to rebuild that muscle, you need protein. Okay, you need it. It is essential. And it helps us also just stay full and feel more satisfied for longer periods of time. So when it comes to protein, our focus should be on leaner proteins, okay, with your meals, such as chicken breast, turkey, egg whites, which is everything in there besides the yellow thing, fish, but be aware of high-fat protein sources that can be upwards to 5 grams of fat per ounce of protein. Okay, that's a lot, such as a ribeye or chicken wings, right? Just because it says chicken doesn't necessarily mean that it's a healthy option, okay? And on average, protein provides about 4 calories per gram and should compose about 30% of your daily calorie intake overall, okay? So please note that individual protein needs vary. Everyone in this room needs a different amount of protein, okay? And that is totally dependent also on what your goals are. That's a good question. I think in the purpose of this, it's not that animal fat is bad. It's just that when it's an additive, we're thinking olive oils and seed oils and that. You wouldn't the animal fat should naturally just come from the protein you're consuming, and that's the additional fat in there, where it shouldn't be like an additive, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yep. Speaking of, look at that lead in. Bow! Okay, protein sources. This is also in your guys' packets for reference if you can't see everything that's on here. So protein sources. So this is just like an options. This is like a good list to go off of. So you'll see that they're kind of categorized here. Green star, lean, orange star, moderate, and the red star is fatty. And that's not to say that either one of these are again, it's very dependent on your goals and that these are bad, but the ones over here should be more limited in compared to these. With these, you're just going to get more bang for your buck. You're going to get more protein into your diet and be able to add other balanced things into it. So it's a good list to go off of. Look at that. Look at elk's listed under there. Did you know that was a moderately? Look at that. Look at that thing.
Yeah, elk's a little fatty.
Look at rice protein, pea protein. I mean, you can get protein from all kinds of sources nowadays. It's incredibly versatile. All right, so now let's go on to carbs. Everyone's favorite, but also the one that seems to get the bad rep. Okay, and that's because people think Carbs are bad. They're not bad, okay? Many foods fit under the carbohydrate umbrella. There's a lot encompassing carbs, even though there's a giant picture of a bunch of bread on the screen right now, okay? There's a lot more versatility to carbs. They're complex, but they like to be understood too, okay? So, fruit, sugar, bread, pasta, grains, and a lot of starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes, butternut squash, all of that stuff. That's all carbs, okay? And carbs break down into glucose, and that is your body's preferred fuel source, okay? Our bodies need carbohydrates to be functional. You need them. I would be a super crab if I didn't have carbs. I would be a very angry person. You know the term hangry? It's because you haven't had enough carbs, probably. Okay. It is. Did you say it's Jewel? Yes. It's an emotion, and I feel that.
Been there, done that.
Ask my husband.
I'm hungry right now.
All right. So carbs provide 4 calories per gram, okay? And you should aim for 30 to 40% of your caloric intake to be from carbohydrates. So let's talk about some carbohydrates. So these specifically, carbs fall into 2 categories, okay? So you have the starchy carbs and the non-starchy or volume carbs, if you will, okay? And understanding the difference between them is extremely important. So these are starchy carbs. Again, you have these lists in your packets, and they'll be incredibly important to have around for reference. But these are all like really good, high quality carbs to have. And you'll see that they're also listed by like glycemic level, okay? Glycemic level from low, moderate to high. And then we'll go here into they're called volume carbs or non-starchy carbs because you can eat a lot of these and it has a much lower caloric intake. So like think about in comparison if you had like a half a cup of rice in comparison to you could have like a bowl this big of like broccoli and greens and Brussels sprouts. I know you shake your head and you say gross. The roasted Brussels sprouts I make, I could eat an entire bowl of them. Would I explode into a million pieces? Absolutely. But it would be worth it. What? Oh, is it? Oh, it is. The Brussels are on the slide.
Yeah, they are on one of these.
Yeah. So non-volume, and these are items that you should start filling half of your plate with. When we talked about the plate method, non-starchy, this should be half your plate. So take a quick moment here, guys, to identify 4 to 5 non-starchy veggies that you will commit to during our challenge. I would not. I would also explode. It doesn't say you have to do. Okay, it's a mix and match. It's a mix and match.
I was gonna say my German aunt probably did.
Yes. Yes. The non-starchy carbs can be mixed into a plethora of non-starchy things. So mark some. I don't really like it.
It's not bad.
I don't like it. It's like a radish.
Chop it up, little salt and pepper.
I don't like radishes.
Radishes are.
If I had to pick, I would pick broccoli, Brussels, carrots,
Brussels,
cucumbers,
carrots,
summer squash, or winter squash, summer squash. What the heck?
asparagus. I take
Yeah.
asparagus and spinach. I definitely take
Yeah, but
ton of.
asparagus
No problem.
makes your pee weird. All right,
That's true.
let's move on.
You're not wrong.
Let's talk about healthy fats real quick, and then I'll get ready to hand the reins over to Tony here for a little bit. So, fat. Contrary to popular belief, fat doesn't make you fat. Okay, fat actually helps you stay fuller longer and absorb important fat soluble vitamins. So, however, fat is the most caloric dense macronutrient, which is why if you consume too much fat, okay, it has different effects because it is the most caloric dense. That's why you consume it in smaller volumes. So weighing in at 9 kcals per gram of fat compared to 4 calories per grams for carbs and protein. So that's the differentiator there. So I know you all know that I enjoy peanut butter, but I consume that in smaller quantities than I used to. I no longer keep a jar in my desk at work, but I still have it probably daily. If you've seen my license plate and you don't know what it stands for, PB for days stands for exactly what you think it does. Yep. Somebody did think it was personal best the other day. I'm like, I never thought of that. It's definitely for peanut butter. And we also want to choose plant-based sources of fat. So there's things like such as avocado or olive oil. Like there's lots of cooking oils and things like that. But olive oil being like premier. Aim for fats to comprise 30 to 40% as well of your daily intake. But please, again, note that this varies based on what your goals are and from person to person. So here's a list of some healthy fats. Oh, but see, there's peanuts. Yeah. Check it out. Coconut oil, dude, that's like a game changer if you cook some stuff in it. Coconut oil is so good. Walnut oil. Has everyone ever used that?
Mm-hmm.
I was today years old when I knew that was a thing. That's cool. Cute. All
Not
right,
easy
let's
to
move on. Principle number 3 here. So limiting our added sugar that we consume daily. Okay. The AHA, no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 teaspoons for men. Okay, so the average person consumes over 150 pounds of sugar annually. Oh, it's true, and it's weird to think about. Like, imagine if I was sugar right now.
Yeah.
And you ate me every year. Okay, sorry, that got
Joules
weird.
worth of sugar.
That was okay, and then I made it weird. I'm sorry. That's 46 teaspoons of sugar a day. Dude, that's crazy. Damn. And it's not surprising because sugar is an added addictive thing, right? And people it's a drug. It really is. Sugar is like a form of drug, and it's in all kinds of food products. It's in everything. It's snuck into everything. And that's why when we start talking about like food labels and stuff, or if you've done Whole30 or anything before, my goodness, is it eye-opening to understand what sugar's in.
Look at your bottle of ketchup in the fridge and tell me how much sugar's in it.
Ever since I've done Whole30, I've never bought regular ketchup again. I do too. Yep. There's Primal Kitchen and Hughes. If you've never had a Hughes, those you can get it at Hy-Vee, Walmart, Target, some Targets. It's literally every condiment in my fridge is Hughes. We can get more into that later. Yeah. Yep. It's a game changer. And a great way to limit some of your added sugar is to eat a majority of whole foods. Okay. And with that,
Thank you.
someone's going to talk about sleep.
So kind of switching gears a little bit, we're going to talk about those pillars we were talking about, or that Cliff had mentioned earlier, that are going to be kind of the staples throughout this 4 weeks. That first one is sleep. So quick show of hands. How many people either track their sleep or can currently track their sleep? Okay, quite a few of us. So the recommendation is about 7 to 8 hours of sleep for an adult on a nightly basis. And big reason is our sleep is when our body can recover the most, because your brain is kind of shut off. Your body can kind of use that protein that you ate to rebuild those muscles. You can regulate your hormone levels, help your blood sugar regulate. And just in general, the more you sleep, tend to feel a little better. So specifically rated, or vital, where am I? Sorry. So about 35% of people do not get enough sleep. So I kind of did the math in my head a little bit ago. There's 25 people in here. So in this group, there's probably 7 people on average that would not be getting enough sleep. I have an 8-month-old, so I'm one of them.
All the coaches raise their hands.
Yeah.
We're all doing this together.
Exactly. We all went through a very similar process to this, so we know what you mean. So how will you get that 7 hours of sleep? A big thing is your setup for your sleep routine. What I mean by that is the couple hours before you go to sleep. Are you, not asking for a show of hands right now, you don't have to out yourself, are you doom scrolling on your phone in bed? Are you running around the house trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done? Are you laying in bed just thinking about the next day? All of those can affect your sleep quality, which will then affect your next day, and it can be a cumulative effect. So, what button do I press?
The arrow.
There we go.
Oh, yes.
So one of the things that can help with falling asleep, or if you're someone who gets anxious at times, one of the techniques is box breathing. So I'll kind of go through what that is, and then we're actually going to all do it a couple of times together. So box breathing, very simple. It is a 4-second inhale, a 4-second hold of that breath, a 4-second exhale, and then 4-second hold with no breath in your lung. And what this does is 2 things. One, it makes you focus on one thing so you forget about everything else. And it can actually help kind of bring anxiety down, bring heart rate down. So we'll do it all together. I'm going to count you guys out. So we're inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the kind of cadence you're looking for when you do this. Thank you for that. Exactly. It's very hard not to crack a smile when that first came on. I'm not gonna lie. Exactly. But doing that even 2 to 3 times can help you fall asleep quite a bit faster. If you're someone who really struggles going to sleep, I would suggest trying just 2 to 3 times and see if you can fall asleep a little faster. So one of our other challenges will be stress. So everyone here has some form of stress. We all have what is stressful to us. So chronic stress will actually cause your body to stay in a state of alertness at all times. That's where if you've had a really stressful day, you try to lay down, your mind won't stop. We've all been there. So that prolonged stress can lead to issues like over a very long period of time. I'm not talking over a couple of days. We're talking heart disease, diabetes, depression, anxiety, things like that over this long stress. So one of the things we need to do is kind of mitigate that stress, finding a productive outlet for that stress. One of the things, you guys are all sitting in it right now, is the gym. Another good thing, yoga, meditation, simply going for a walk. Personally didn't work for me, but I actually did try these sitting on the floor and didn't work for me personally, but you can always try things like that. It's always trying something, whether, talking to a friend, or if it gets to a point where that stress is really affecting the daily life, seeking out a mental health professional. Exercise, our next pillar. So exercise does not mean coming in here, hitting that workout every single day. That exercise can be taking a walk at lunch, getting, a little harder when it's winter, but maybe that after dinner stroll around with the kids. Shoveling snow. Yeah, it is exercise. So exercise benefits in every part of your health. It helps your cardiovascular by making your heart work a little bit. Helps your metabolism, makes your body need to use energy, so it starts to burn any energy stores that it has or anything that you've eaten. So it's one of those things where we don't think of exercise only as coming here and working out. Like I said, we can go for a walk, you can play with the kids, anything like that, chase a dog around. So this is what we were talking about when there's going to be our 3 pillars: our movement, our stress management, our sleep, and then our one that is going to kind of change, that we're going to stack week from week. As Cliff had mentioned earlier, we have the 1 cup of non-starchy vegetables with lunch and dinner. So that 1 cup, don't worry about measuring it perfectly. We're talking about that plate method, that visual style. So that 1 cup, make a fist. That's about a cup right there. That much vegetables with your lunch and dinner. Again, we're talking about adding. We're not, I'm just not going to have this part of my meal and have this. It's the whole thing of, if I tell you not to think of an elephant, what are you thinking of right now? Exactly. We don't like to, human minds just don't like to be restrictive and told not to do something. It's just how we're wired. It's just how it is. So like I said, week 1, we are going to focus on that 1 cup of non-starchy vegetables with lunch and dinner. If you're somebody like me who doesn't really have multiple meals throughout the day, I'm kind of more of a snack throughout the day. Try and sprinkle those vegetables in everywhere. Yep, those will be the little bubbles that'll pop up at the top that you'll be marking off daily. Yep. And then we have our mini challenges. I believe Cliff mentioned these with the pantry clean out. We'll have a couple of other ones as well throughout, just kind of little things to help you along the way with this. So don't worry, we'll remind you about them. You don't got to remember the pantry clean out, and there'll be a little more information on it. Yep, because we'll do those challenges with you. And then don't forget throughout this whole thing, the non-scale victories. So it's not always going to change on the scale, but you may have a lot of these things happen. Increased strength, more energy, just improve your feeling throughout the day. I know that a lot of times we get really focused on this one thing and we don't notice how many other things are changing. People are trying to see you, get out of the way. But don't forget about these kind of non-scale. And I know I had a couple of people I mentioned this to, but I'm just going to throw it out to everybody. My challenge, try not to step on a scale for this whole 28 days. I challenged a couple of people with it.
I'm going to smash all scales.
Yeah, this is true. Thank you for sabotaging me. And with that, Jewel, I hand it back to you.
Cool, excellent. Also, take note of all these emojis.
Yes.
They're great.
I want that one.
They're yeah.
I don't know why, but I
I
want
don't know.
that
The one with the star eyes kind of looks like a clown. It's freaking me out a little bit. All right, let's talk about the app a little bit, guys. This is a great time to get your phone out. We're gonna talk through some things. We want to make sure that this is functioning well for all of you, because truly, outside of our initial challenges or initial meetings with your coach and post meetings with your coach, we will be communicating via the app daily. Okay. So, has everybody downloaded the HSN app? Excellent. Good. We did our job, guys. Hey. Okay. Okay, great. So you should see, if you open the app now, okay, there's group messaging, and that's where we are going to be posting things about the mini challenges. We'll be sending updates, videos. It's a good hype group for everybody. So if you could, if people could open that and put a thumbs up in it, or your favorite emoji.
It's the one that has the
challenge one that's got
the bicep on it.
It's got a bicep on it.
Yeah.
Just send one in there. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Hold on.
That's a good question. Yes. This is the group chat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send what my favorite emoji is later. Not the eggplant. Don't make it weird. There's not a peanut butter one. There's a peanut.
Well,
there's not a peanut butter jar.
Close enough.
Okay. But that's also your opportunity. If you have a question or something, but you think it applies to the group as a greater whole, throw it in there. Okay, and we can engage as a group. All right, let's talk about daily habits. So we talked a little bit about what some of those daily habits are. You should see on the app right now, there should be one listed, which is attend the Kickoff seminar. Woo! You're all here, so you can all check that one off. If you tap it. If you don't see it, let us know.
Yep. Got the thumbs up.
Tap it. It should, I'm sorry. I have a visual. I should use it. It have like a little rocket ship maybe, but it says attend Kickoff seminar. Click it. Woo! Celebration. Private messaging with your coach, which is what Sarah just asked. So you'll see there's like a private chat button. There should be a chat button in the bottom. Does everybody see this?
Yeah, this looks like a little ghost figure.
Icon.
Yep, right there. Yep. Good.
Can we put our logo on that?
We could.
There's a little.
I'll let you do that.
There's a little button.
I'll let you do that. Will there be messages from
Our coach. Yep. So.
And that is how you communicate with your coach. So whatever coach you're with, if you don't want to, so you have our group, and then you have this one down here, which is just individualized communication with your coach.
Yeah, their group in the picture is an apple.
Yeah, they have an apple.
We're cooler.
We have a bicep.
We've got a bicep.
So it doesn't say anything, but I'll just know it goes to Cliff.
Yes.
Yeah, I would probably all of us coaches.
Perfect.
How about we send all of our clients their first
already.
message?
I didn't know for sure. Like,
Yeah.
It'll go into the abyss.
Yeah.
We don't know who will respond. Good luck.
You have to remember
Chat
that.
roulette.
it's in the cloud.
It's in the card.
I think that's the next slide. If not, I'll tell you.
Oh my God.
I think we got off track.
We did. We were because it doesn't say our name, but I said that all my clients, my peeps, I'll send you a chat first so that I can confirm it's my identity. That's what we're talking about. It would be. Yes.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Okay. Private messaging. So actually, no, I lied. I want you to interact with us now. So I want you to think of something. Think of something that you've learned today and send it to your coach in a private message in the HSN app. Bing. Do it now.
Play us some music now.
Oh, I still have the weird box breathing piano meditation thing on. I'm working.
Did we mention our challenge is going to be fun?
It is fun.
If you're not having fun.
Okay. Okay, any initial questions on that, friends, before we move on? Okay, your coach will get back to you. Okay, so under your things to do, okay, you will see a habit that says attend the kickoff seminar. You guys already checked that. Awesome. Once you click that, you'll get a thumbs up. It'll give you a thumbs up and it'll say, yay, you're starting a streak. Woo, cool. Okay. And then go ahead and click out of the streak celebration. You guys all probably already did that because you sent a message to us. At the top right, you'll see 4 dots, and click on that and it will open up to a compliance tracker. And every day you complete your habit under the things to do,
Got it.
you'll get a check mark.
Oh, so go on to.
Is it at the bottom? Ha! This is lies.
You don't have today's habit. What the heck? There should be a.
So wherever you see 4 dots, click on that and it will open up to a compliance tracker.
Okay. So.
Yes, that's the same.
You did that.
Yes. Badges, compliance is a really bougie word for that.
And then that right there. Those little 4 dots there. Click on that. And then the calendar pops up and that shows that you did your habit for the day.
So why we're talking about that is so every day you complete your habit or a habit, okay, you'll get a check mark on your calendar and we'll be able to see your completion rate for the week.
Kathy, got it. David,
and we're aiming to try to get at least 80% completion each week. That's your goal, your challenge.
Yep.
Okay?
So Jewel, Tony, and I will be checking off or like checking in on your checkoffs.
Yep.
And then at the end of the week, we're going to send you a nice video message with your habit compliance. And it's also, so like each of those things that you click off is a point for the challenge.
Correct.
So that's how you win.
Yep. So consistency.
Yes.
Consistency, check off your habits each day. Okay. Watch your daily educational videos, which will also be a little bubble at the top too.
Yeah. And so Tony mentioned it, like if you go to like yesterday's, like there isn't one for yesterday, but like as we get through this, if you decide you're going to go back on yesterday and try and click them, you can, but it won't give you any points. And then also, I believe the way that I have it set up is that you can see the week ahead. Don't click on stuff ahead of time.
Yep.
It will only count if you click on it the day that it is.
Yes.
If you do like put that after or before.
No bueno. You get
So
kicked
when
out
you
of the
do
challenge.
it, check it. Or whenever you find throughout the day is when you doom scroll, make that your time to check off your habits. Make it
one habit at a time. One habit at a time.
make doom scrolling habit scrolling. Okay, so again, this is going to be the way that we're going to stay the most engaged as a group. Okay, and you will be most successful with this when you engage with each other. Like it's hard. We are all in a room right now, but we will all be virtually together through it here. Okay, and it's really important that everybody here, we're all our accountability buddies. If you were on our nutrition call, you heard me throw out that term. Okay, we're all accountability buddies, so we will all hold each other accountable by going through this together. Okay, And there's lots of features and stuff in the app. So as you play with it, get more comfortable with it. It's really user-friendly, and there's a lot going on. So stay engaged with us. Share pictures and recipes in the group. Yes, ma'am.
On the Habits app,
Yes.
if we have it synced up to our smartwatch, will it automatically populate?
Yep.
That's what I was getting.
Yeah, I'm already seeing some of your guys' stuff in there.
Any device you put in there, essentially,
Like,
the app is just going to repeatedly update.
Yep, it's constantly going to pull in.
automatically check off like.
You have to manually check off your habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll like track your movement, but it won't be like.
That's a good idea.
It's great. We'll get there.
But
AI. Yes, ma'am.
it'll pull in all your.
That if you don't have an Apple Watch, won't track your REM.
Good to know.
Have a 3 or older,
I have an Apple
figure
Watch.
out
Well,
that it
yeah.
won't track
I have a Whoop.
It will just check your sleep. So if someone finds that out, would you let me know
Yes, ma'am.
if you get better info? Thank you for your help.
But
I guess
the
I have to get a new one.
but yeah, so like app. So to kind of sum that up, like all the app integrations, basically all they'll do is pull in your biometrics. They're not going to like check any of your habits, but like if it has sleep or you like somehow you're putting your weight in there or your movements, those will all pull, but it won't check your habits. So yeah. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and keep cruising here, crew. But if you have the opportunity, okay, if you have any questions or anything, if you want to share a hype phrase or anything in the group right now, please do so. Okay, that's our hype group. So again, the most successful clients are going to stay engaged, crew. And a couple things, some tips here. Okay, move the HSN app to your home screen. That's just if you have a lot of apps open, just make sure it's somewhere where it's visible on your home screen. Set your notifications on, okay? Because if you're not, I know some notifications are annoying, but these are helpful notifications, okay? These are actually pertinent to what you're doing right now. So set those notifications on. Set a reminder to help you remember to watch the videos and engage in the group and check off your daily habits. Just like pick a time of day and do it that time every day, okay? It's a habit. Let's start making it one. Okay. And guys, just know this is like the beginning of your journey. Okay. We're doing this together. We're excited about this. It's an opportunity to stay engaged. We want you to be intentional about your goals, move with purpose through this process. And we'll have it stack when you use the app. And this is like a safe place for us to interact and thrive together. So, and it works best with a built-in reward. So for example, as soon as I sit on the couch to watch TV, I'll open the HSN app. Honestly, I do this at home when I was going through this with my coach, and I'll just check off all the things, and then it makes me very satisfying, and I won't allow myself to watch any Netflix until I check off my habits. And I did that. And then it's like really satisfying. I would like seriously start falling asleep at night. I'm like, I didn't check my habits. And I would wake up and I would check my habits off because it's really
I'd run in the kitchen.
Yep.
Crap.
1 minute. 1 or 2 minutes?
Yeah, it
pretty
depends on
short.
the day. They're 1 to 3. Although I would tell you that the weekly challenge one, I watched it this morning. Is 10 minutes. So, but it's good.
Yep.
It's pantry clean out one.
They're good. Ever since you said first closet clean out, I'm like, I just picture you like cleaning out your closet and checking out snacks.
Yep.
But there's like clothes. It's very confusing.
They all
Yeah. Yes.
So like all those videos will pop to YouTube, and then if you're a speed listener or watcher, you can also change that, but don't change it to complete chipmunk. Okay, so you can do 1.25 or 1.5. Okay, couple things here. Question: do I have to weigh my food? I know there's a number of folks that have done, or just raise your hand if you've done macro tracking. Oh man, a lot more than I thought. Okay, so you probably weighed your stuff and you're doing all the things, and like you're like, oh man, like now I got to look at that label and it's not in here. Like, okay, so this stuff does work. Like I did it for years, but it is kind of a pain in the butt. So the answer to this question is no. For this challenge, we are not. However, if you're like, man, I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle and like that's my goal, probably going to weigh our protein. But for this challenge, plate method. Okay. Do I have to eat the starchy carbs? Aren't carbs bad for you? Julius educated us on all the carbs.
Let us glorify the starchy carbs.
You have to eat the rutabagas, and you have to eat a whole half plate,
and half a plate of sauerkraut.
Half plate of sauerkraut. So if you don't, you're not winning the challenge. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it?
I'm like floating as we talk about it.
Yeah. I think, man, I was doing macro tracking. I'm like, okay, how much spinach do I need? And it was literally, it was like that much. So I went to Aldi and I bought canned spinach, and I was like, this is dumb. This is not the purpose of this.
Okay, Popeye.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't mind canned spinach. Who thinks you can eat a sandwich on this challenge? Yes. Okay.
We should have brought sandwiches.
So, we should have brought sandwiches. Well, carbs, veggies, protein. Okay, it's all in there. Now we'll talk about quantity and quality. Okay, so if you go to the store and just pick up any old, I won't name names, type bread, look at the back of the nutrition label. So actually in one of the videos this week, it talks about nutrition labels and reading through ingredients list. You might have an expert resource in the room that can help you with that if you're not sure. But there's a lot of junk in there. So breads and meats, believe it or not, loaded up with sugars. Okay, sandwich meat. Yep.
Real bad.
So sometimes you're like, oh man, that's like a little bit more expensive. Well, that's because it doesn't have all the additives in it. So long story short, find items that have the least amount of ingredients, and then look at the ingredients to make sure that it doesn't say it's 0 sugar, but why is there sugar? Okay, so yes, you can have your sandwich. I can go down the rabbit hole of the ingredients. Quality ingredients.
Send pictures of your sandwiches in the group chat.
Yeah. You can also do I like to have a tuna sandwich, but then I won't have 2 slices of bread. I'll have the one open face. But if I'm feeling really frisky, put some cheese on top. Okay, so
Kenny does that too. It's so weird.
Oh, does he?
Kenny's tuna sandwich. I can't do it.
Yeah, toasted. The bread's has to be toasted. That's the only way to eat the sandwich. Bars. Okay, bars are another good source of protein, or it can be, and it also can be misleading. Think about balance. Proteins, carbs, fat. Read the label. Fortunately or unfortunately, you're probably going to spend a little bit more time in the grocery store reading the things, and people are going to be looking at you weird. Why are you standing there reading all these things and putting stuff back? At least that's been my experience. But proteins, carbs, fat, RX bars, both for full adults and kids, have a really good balance on those. But I would challenge you, make sure that you do read them, because a lot of bars have a ton of sugar in there. So be cognizant of that. Ooh, there they are.
Oh, there's the Brussels.
Roasted Brussels sprouts. So if you're one that doesn't like vegetables, she's on her phone. Oh, you like vegetables? Okay. Well, I'm out. So yeah, dusted in sauce. There it is. Okay. Geez. Okay. So during this challenge, have an open mind, try some things out, and try different cooking methods. My favorite that I've done for the last at least 2 years, air fry, and I air fry every single vegetable that I have, even carrots. So they're amazing.
And roast.
That's the best. But if you like them baked, you can bake them. Or some people like the squishy stuff that you boil. That floats your boat. Still a vegetable. Can you still eat your favorite foods? The answer is yes. We don't want you to cut out the scoop of ice cream or whatever your guilty indulgent is. Just be cognizant of what you're eating, okay? And eat those things in moderation and balance that out with your veggies. So the next time you pick up a donut, pick up an entire hunk of broccoli. You gotta eat both. Exactly. See, Josh is listening. Gotta eat the veggies first. So what happens after the challenge? So at the end of the challenge, you will meet again in person with your coach and basically go over your results and your progress towards your goal. And then afterwards, like I mentioned in the beginning, we do have individualized nutrition coaching or holistic coaching that will help with literally any goal that you want to accomplish. So Tony, Jewel, and I are here for you afterwards. You win. Everyone wins. Any questions?
The points don't matter.
You're all winners. The points don't matter.
Yes.
Yeah, there you
Whose
go.
line is it? I love
Whose
that
line?
show.
Whose line? So each week there's going to be a specific challenge. So, like Tony said, the first week's challenge is or 1 cup of non-starchy vegetables, so green vegetables, on your plate. Click those habits. Each of those habits equals 1 point. And then at the end of the week, we'll tabulate those points and we'll announce a winner. This week, so there's prizes. We talked about prizes. This week is a gift card for Trading Grounds. I don't know the total. Nikki got it. I should have asked.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's
Doesn't
coffee.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's coffee.
It's coffee.
It's coffee. It's got to be black though.
No, it doesn't.
Trash.
Trash.
So then each week we'll have a different challenge or different prize. So let's see. We talked about challenge engagement. So the more engaged you are with the app, whether it be directly with your coach and or with the group and watching the videos and clicking the habits off, the more successful that you will be. Okay. Essentially, the more you use it, the better chance you have to hitting your goals, both short-term and long-term. And with that, that is the end of our material. If anybody has questions, we are all ears.
I have a question. Does it start today or does it start Monday?
The official challenge kickoff is Monday. So the reason that we did it today is because that some of us are gone for the weekend.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
but officially, the go button is Monday.
Okay.
Even though you can see the things right now, don't click them right now.
It's a great opportunity to go grocery shopping.
Yes.
Already thinking.
So you have to go into the HSN app and then sync those things.